Support for UW360 is provided by the Labor Archives of Washington. Learn more about researching at the Labor Archives and donating collections at laborarchives.org.
I mean, some of the stories, if I told you, you would think that I was making it up or I was crazy.
Lila Smith started her career in 1998 and soon became the first ever Woman International Transport Federation inspector, making sure that all sorts of ships coming through Puget Sound were following laws and regulations.
The first ship I went on by myself was in Everett, and I found $65,000 that the company had not paid the crew. They, of course, paid the crew before they left the dock.
Lila was not just a guardian for international shipping crews. She became an advocate for working women by standing up to the discrimination she faced for being a woman in what was traditionally a man's world.
Some of the guys were pretty upfront that they would prefer that women were not there. What do women think they're doing applying for these jobs? These jobs are for men who have families to raise. And I'm thinking, okay, I have 3 kids at home. Let me take that home and see if it'll fly.
From ensuring that women received equal pay to demanding uniforms for women, Lila has been a constant voice of empowerment. And now she's giving an endowment to the Labor Archives of Washington to gather and record similar stories.
While we have some stories about working women, people that were involved with, say, different unions as leaders, as reform advocates, we don't have enough.
I am so excited about Connor and the Labor Archives being able to go out and interview a ton of other women and get their stories.
One of the first women whose stories the Archives wants to capture is Captain Catherine Sweeney, the first woman to captain for shipping giant Matson Navigation.
I was a captain on a 720-foot long container ship going back and forth between Hawaii and the West Coast.
In 2001, Captain Sweeney and her crew received international acclaim for rescuing a Japanese fishing crew on stormy seas. Having served with distinction, Captain Sweeney set her sights on another first, becoming the first woman maritime pilot for Puget Sound.
At that point, it dawned on me because I read that I was going to have to wear a tie and a sport coat. And I thought, wow, they haven't done anything to prepare for their first woman.
Similar to Lila, Captain Sweeney encountered a system of nepotism, an old boys club. There wasn't even a women's restroom for her to use.
They kept putting more and more barriers in place. And finally, at the end, they ended my training program and opted not to give me a pilot license.
In 2014, she successfully sued the pilot board for discrimination, and it's Catherine's full story the Labor Archives wants to capture in detail.
You know, I was really delighted to know that they're archiving the history of the labor movement and things that have gone on, especially in Puget Sound. You know, I don't consider myself interesting, but I know I would have liked to have learned about some of this when I was going through school.
And so if you don't get the stories now, they're not going to be there. How's my granddaughter ever going to know, and my nieces and my grandnieces? And if they ever stumble upon looking at unions from a women's perspective, then they should have some place to go to find the stories.